Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host here, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we are going to talk about a bunch of topics of the day, including the untimely passing of Shelia Jackson Lee, who, just like every other Democrat before her that died in office, should have literally resigned from office, knowing that they were not long for this world, but are too much of a bunch of scumbags to do that, is what it is. We're also going to talk about Loomer's recent response to her tweet, the Sheila's final tweets, basically is what it is, which I'm going to talk about this one right off the bat, about Shelia Jackson Lee. I don't believe she actually sent out a tweet literally hours before her death. I believe some staffer that worked for her or some other Democrat that had access to her account was probably the one behind that tweet using Sheila's official account, what it is there. Because really, like, you're really going to be on your deathbed dying of cancer, and you're going to spend like your last hour or two on Earth just being like, kind of like, fuck Trump again. Like, really, people? Like, really? Like, if that be the case, and that is like the most petty bullshit I've ever seen in my entire life, and Sheila's exactly where she belongs, in hell with Ruth Bader Ginsburg and all these other fucking assholes like Dianne Feinstein, etc. there, dude. So, anyway. We're also going to talk about Oregon's BM114 and how unconstitutional that ballot measure even was, why it shouldn't have been on the ballot to begin with, etc., etc. I know people are probably thinking that's unconstitutional as hell right now, as it is. It should be. It was all played, by the way, it wasn't known about the ballot measure. It was actually paid for by Bloomberg and Gifford specifically. It was by every town/farmer's demand that paid for half of it, and then Gifford's group paid for their half is what it is there, and it was about, I think it was like $1.81 per person or something like that. That's what they paid to basically get it passed. Which, again, should never been on the ballot to begin with. That's what it is there, dude, because it was unconstitutional help begin with. That's what it is there. So, also, I got a new cell phone. So, yeah, this was the one that my sister had given my mom, and then she ended up porting the number to the house over to the phone then, so I have an actual working cell phone. Knows what it is, which is good. I also have my second cell phone that's not working currently, that I've had forever. So, by the way, it's not unusual for someone to have two cell phones when you have one for, like, potentially your home and one for your business, you know, and that's what that would be for if I get the other one working then. That one would be a business contact phone number, and then the orange one would be would be specifically for just the house and for like family and friends to have is what it is there. So, but anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about that stuff. We're also gonna talk about the RNC a little bit, as well as specifically them facing backlash for basically editing out that shit with it was the frat bros doing shit to that one girl on that one campus. Is what it is there. Which, by the way, it's not as if we're not seeing black supremacy all over this fucking country in the last 10 fucking years or more. But no, God forbid white people do one fucking stupid thing and it's like basically dragged through the fucking mud at that point. It's just ridiculous what it is, dude. I was also watching a video earlier today, like about probably 15 minutes ago or so, on X there, where it was these dudes that were calling themselves Whites Against Replacement, which I'm pretty sure this group is another one of these Fed groups like Patriot Front and like Blood Tribe and stuff like that, dude. And I feel like I've heard of these guys like one time before, and I think it might be because they were here in Ohio is what it was. And it was like one of these federal groups that were created here in the state is what it was by the Fed Boys is what it is. Because the thing is, too, you should tell what these groups actually are if they are like legit feds and stuff like that, dude. But just the small numbers of them is what it is. 20 of them out there doing stuff, and most of the time it's like, you know, almost everybody has their face like covered in masks and stuff, except for maybe like one or two guys that don't give a fuck because they're already like, you know, like known fucking, you know, felons or whatever it is there at that point then. But yeah, it was basically, and it's kind of an out of context clip. I assume I have no idea where this is going on at either for that matter. But basically it was like about 10, 15 white dudes out there, and by a bus stop area is what it was on some street corner in one of these major cities in this country. And they were basically like bitching and moaning about like, you know, basically not being replaced is what it was. And then you had a bunch of young minority kids, a bunch of little black kids, about maybe, I would say, honestly, no more than 12 or 13. I would say maybe younger than that, honestly, maybe like 9 or 10 even for that matter. Which my thing is, Who the fuck has a 9 or a 10-year-old running around the fucking city on their own, or even with a pack of friends at that point, you know? So, like, that's just ignorant as hell to begin with. Like, that's just terrible parenting to begin with on that one, dude. But yeah, you had the one guy basically drop an M-bomb at the kids, and it just made this one, like, flip the fuck out. Like, when it was like, I'm gonna fight all y'all and stuff like that, like a little ignorant-ass piece of shit that he is, honestly. And mind you, he's talking to grown-ass men that are, like, probably, like, between, like, 25 and, like, 40 years old. And it's like, no, dude, they would fucking literally take your ass out with one punch, legitimately, if that be the case. So, but yeah, and then it was basically all of them getting all pissy and moany about it, and the cops were there. They're like, sort of shuffle the kids off and stuff like that. And then they went into like a whole thing about the one dude did, and it's on our, I believe it's on our next page. That's what it is, because I posted about them guys being feds and stuff like that. And yeah, it was basically the one guy saying about how it's like all these kids when they're even young like that are showing like how ignorant they really are is what it is, by just getting violent like that. And it's kind of fucked up and true, honestly, on that one, dude. And it's just sad too how we can't get along like that, because you got a bunch of little ignorants that, you know, can't fucking deal with a word, literally. Like, they can't deal with somebody saying a word to them. So yeah, it's just pathetic in general. But that being said, on a lighthearted note, though, that's actually a good positive thing. That piece of shit woman in Pennsylvania who walked up and shot that lady and her baby in the stroller was basically like, fuck your baby, bitch. They finally arrested her piece of shit ass. And this is honestly, like, these kind of criminals like that are exactly why we need either on-the-spot executions in this country, or we need to have legitimately firing squads in all 50 states and express death penalties relating to those is what it is then. So, because yeah, these are the pieces of shit in our society that don't need to be here anymore, all dude. Legitimately. If you're going to be that violent, if you're going to be, you know, doing that kind of shit, like, nah, you're done here, buddy. Period in the fucking story. So, anyway. So, to go on to the Shelia Jackson Lee thing, I do want to mention this real quick, because this is supposedly, like, the final tweet that she put out, like, literally, like, an hour or two before she died on the 19th. So, yeah, it said, I have no idea what Donald Trump was talking about last night. For more than an hour, he rambled and lied. He is unfit for the presidency. Now, my friends, is the time to focus on beating him in his Project 2025 monstrosity. Enough is enough. And as people were saying in the comment section down here, and this is Laura Loomer's thing back to her yesterday is what it was then. And it was, like this guy was saying, like, left, here he goes, yeah, I said, this is the leftist mind. Woman was literally perishing to death, and she spent her last living hours moaning and groaning on social media about Trump. Hope her eternal life was more satisfying than her clearly empty one here on Earth. And then, what was that now? Yeah, and you have this guy here saying, if you have no idea what he was talking about, how do you know he lied? And then a bunch of people basically saying, oh, so sad that Shelia died, basically. And there's a couple other ones here I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. People were talking about the ring she had on her hand there is the pedo ring. Well, I'm not surprised that Shelia Jackson is a potential pedophile. Or was, I should say. Yeah, doesn't surprise me at all, dude, at that point. So, any other people saying some stuff and whatnot. And it was funny because somebody said, I can't find it now, so it is, but it was on here earlier. And it was some dude saying about how it's like, she was right with her first sentence. She had no idea what she was talking about. So, it's pretty funny. So, anyway. But, yeah, so then you have the fucking idiots at the Daily Beast, some black supremacist bitch on there, bitching and moaning about Laura Loomer's response there, claiming, yeah, it was oh, god damn it, people. I don't want to fucking register for your fucking retarded bullshit site. Yeah, it was Laura Loomer cheers Rep. Shelia Jackson Lee's death and racist rant. And then basically called Laura Loomer a white nationalist and other stuff like that, which is total lies, by the way. And they were so a big ass lawsuit on that one for that alone right now, dude. So, let's see if I can do this on a different thing. See if it'll pop up in a different way then. I can actually read the damn thing. Okay, that might work actually on that one. Yeah, I gotta do some incognito thing so it doesn't recognize my shit or whatever then. Yeah, it's a right-wing personality faced immediate backlash for disrespecting the legacy of a staunch civil rights supporter. So first of all, Josephine Walker, Sheila Jackson Lee was not a staunch civil rights supporter. She was a fucking gun-grabbing old cunt who was in power for almost 30 fucking years trying to steal our gun rights in this country and should have been disqualified on the spot over 2 fucking decades ago for literally trying to attempt to attack the Second Amendment as a having taken a sworn oath to office many times at that point. And yeah, Sheila was literally in power for 29 fucking years in this country in Congress, dude. And one of the biggest, most retarded dipshits when it came to being an attack artist against the Second Amendment. When she literally posted that stupid shit a couple years ago, like I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago now, where she was talking about ARs being as heavy as 10 moving boxes. Like, you have no fucking clue what the hell you're talking about, old woman. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid cunt. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about, though, dude. It's fucking ignorant-ass bullshit from some ignorant-ass piece of shit who, by the way, represented one of the worst places in Texas, being a major city there in District 18, and because of her being in power as long as she was, helped fuck up that city to be even worse and worse of a fucking ghetto, creating even more ghetto than it was before she took office in 1995, dude. Just want to point that one out. But yeah, as the stupid bitch, Josephine Walker's false claimant said Laura Loomer, a white nationalist, and Donald Trump's one-time favorite pick for a campaign role, sparked outrage on social media by metaphorically dancing on the black congresswoman's grave. Sheila Jackson Lee, a progressive voice in Congress who fought for civil and women's rights, died Friday at the age of 74. Shortly after she announced she was battling pancreatic cancer, which, by the way, she announced that shit in June. I also want to talk about something real quick, and I'm pretty sure that old Sheila was one of these people that took the old, pokety poke, and was basically bragging about that shit and telling everybody else to do that stuff. So it's like, yeah, was this another one of the things, where it was possibly a little bit of a, side effect, if you will? Maybe not, dude. I do know that there was a state rep here in Ohio, though, that died recently of, I think it was throat cancer, and she was very much about that shit, dude. So, just saying, people. Just saying. Also, again, like I said before, like, if you know that you are dying of some kind of a cancer, dude, how is that not an auto DQ from office at that point, or at least immediate step down anyway, to let a healthy person take over there? And really, it goes to show this is why we need both health and age limits for Congress, etc., dude. Just across the fucking board right now, because there's no reason for a 70. First of all, there's no reason for a 74-year-old woman who is way past retirement age at that point, like almost a decade past retirement age at that point, to be in any position of power, dude, in this country. Especially when she can't put on fucking blackout glasses for a fucking eclipse over this year. There's a video out there, by the way, of that shit, where she's trying to put on the fucking eclipse glasses, and she's so fucking stupid she can't even do that shit, dude. And it's like, Jesus Christ, woman. And you're a congresswoman? Like, good God, dude. Like, no wonder our fucking country was and is such a shithole right now because of you fucking Democrats out there, dude. And you fucking around sex shit, too. Who are retarded as fuck. But yeah, what Laura Loomer said was, even on her deathbed, I mean, Sheila Jackson Lee said this ghetto bitch couldn't keep Trump's name out of her disgusting mouth. It's a conservative TV host wrote in a series of posts on X, said Loomer initially reposted one of Jackson's last posts, a July 20th comment criticizing President Trump, which is that one we talked about a minute ago there. And then Laura came on said apparently saying Sheila Jackson Lee will be remembered as a destructive. Okay, this is actually the original. Let me just go ahead and read what was said here by Laura Loomer on this one. Let's go back to the actual Sheila Jackson Lee post there on X, and then go from there. You should say it like right here pretty much. No, we don't get the dumbass leftist perspective. Here you go. Sheila Jackson Lee, there you go. Here's Laura Loomer's tweet. It said, "Be on her deathbed, this ghetto bitch couldn't keep Trump's name out of her disgusting mouth. I'd say rest in peace, but we all know lying Democrats who have destroyed our country are going to hell. Sheila Jackson Lee will be remembered as a destructive force in America and one of the most low IQ members of Congress in the history of our nation." Very true. So today she died. Instead of spending her final moments with her family, she was talking shit about Trump on X and spewing more lies. She won't be missed, but I'm sure she will still be voting Democrat this November. Good riddance. 100% agree, dude. 100% agree. And I actually posted something on our official open page about Shelia Jackson Lee's piece of shit ass yesterday was what it was. I think I lost like 2 followers for that one too as well, which I don't give a fuck anymore, dude. It's like whatever. I'll say what the fuck I want to say on that one. So find it here real quick. It's been a while. Oh, by the way, there was some Islamic terrorist, pro-Palestine piece of shit that showed up to the Houston mayor's house, and within a couple of minutes was arrested by Houston cops. So, because Texas don't fuck around anymore, these assholes, dude, nor should they. So, anyway. But, let's see, where is this at? I'm going to find it real fast. Oh, yeah, there's a video going around of a little girl who looks like she's about probably 200 pounds, at least, and is supposedly only 6 years old, trying to climb up a set of stairs for a jungle gym thing. And it's like, yeah, how the hell are you going to be that heavy at that age, dude? Unless your parents are literally just feeding you like pounds and pounds of butter and stuff. Just insane, bro. Like that right there is criminal parenting, honestly, dude. Oh yeah, I do want to talk about this one for a minute. This is actually pretty funny if y'all haven't seen this video here, where it's this dog who apparently was at the daycare, and it was the feedback from the daycare people. This is actually quite funny.
This bug had the funniest reaction when he listened to the voicemail left by his dog in daycare.
Want to give you?
Oh, shit.
He listened to the voicemail left by his dog in daycare.
Want to give you a quick update. Kai is a big humper, overstimulated, literally humping everyone. And a lot of the dogs did not like it. He is social, but he's more concerned about humping everybody than he is playing. And
This bug had the funniest reaction.
Yeah, I think it's funny how he's just like, wait a minute, they let me humping them? It's like, I thought they were totally into it. It's just funny. Yeah. Oh, also, there's a Save-A-Lot here in the Cleveland area where people are talking about trying to get it to, trying to save it basically from being closed down and creating a food desert, basically. Yeah, they won't actually call Black on Black crime going on at the place right now, dude, which is pretty pathetic and disgusting, honestly. Or that it's actually their community members that are robbing the place blind. It's my food desert right now. So, when the hell did I post that? All right. Oh, apparently somebody tried to actually hack one of my social media accounts yesterday too, which was I went to my Facebook page last night and it said something about there was like 3 or 4 attempts actually, one from Washington State and then at least 2 from Nevada, and thankfully the site itself was like, yeah, this is not recognized on our thing right now, so let's just go ahead and knock these out right now. That's what it is then. So, and they were all roughly about the same. What's weird too is it said it listed as 21 hours on the thing, but then it said it was supposed to be yesterday at 6:52 p.m. and it was literally like 5 minutes after that I was looking at it, and it's like, how the hell is that 12 hours ago? Unless you're talking about it being 6:52 a.m., which would make total logical sense, and if that be the case. But anyway, yeah, very, very weird. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently people were talking about the wrestling news here. Talking about Motor City Machine Guns now expect to be heading WWE instead of AEW. They would actually be pretty good as like a team in NXT right now to help like other teams basically get a leg up there, if you will. So, but anyway, let's see where was that now. Okay, so yeah, going back to the Laura Loomer Shelia Jackson Lee thing here. So you had this woman that was writing this Daily Beast article here, putting herself in a slanderous lawsuit right now, by the way, by falsely claiming that Loomer is a white nationalist. But But yeah, I was saying Shelia Jackson Lee was a graduate at Yale College, University of Virginia Law School, prior to serving 30 years in Congress. So the actual users were quick to call Loomer's ghetto bitch remarks racist and violent, if they're not. They're fucking true, actually. So including Shelia Jackson Lee's former colleague in Congress, Congressional Black Caucus, Richie Torres, who's also a fucking idiot too, by the way, and fucking up New York State. That's what it is. Which that fucking tard wrote. These are the words of a rabid racist who represents everything that is rancid and rotten with the far right. There is a special place in hell for Laura Loomer. And we got former congressman and known fucking Fed boy Adam Kinzinger piled onto the debate, writing simply, "Don't think heaven-bound people tweet things like this." Go fuck yourself, Kinzinger. You are the fucking deep statist piece of shit, dude, that's helping trying to... You literally helped trying to kill Trump the other day, dude. Go fuck yourself. It's been literally 7.5 days since you fuckers tried to assassinate President Donald Trump, dude. Eat a dick, Kinzinger, you fucking cunt. There's a reason why your bitch ass is no longer a congressman, you fucking sack of shit. Same thing with that bitch Liz Cheney. So, anyway. Then you got this one from the Atlanta Black Star News, which I can only assume is a black-based news organization or something like that out there, claiming straight-up racism. RNC faces backlash for editing out white frat bros who harassed and made monkey gestures at black female grad student during protests. Yeah. This kid, by the way, this kid right here, the one without the hat on, is a fucking idiot. Legitimately. That kid's a dumbass, dude. Like, he probably needs to get smacked in the face. Let's be honest with ourselves, dude. And that's the problem. When you got, and mind you, these guys are all drinking and drunk and stuff like that. That's the problem when you're, fucking young and want to be an idiot like that. You don't realize it's going to fuck up your future, is what it is in most cases. And yeah, honestly, like, they probably all should have got a good old-fashioned, like, just smack across the mouth, honestly, on that one, dude. And it goes into talking about who that kid actually is there. And yeah, I'm sure they probably dragged him at this point and tried to, cancel culture his ass, is my guess, honestly, and this whole thing there. And that's the thing, too, right? You get the backlash from the left. They're all a bunch of cancel culture assholes anyway, so fuck them. Anyway. Moving on to one of the other two stories we got to talk about today, which is, I thought this was pretty interesting. It's popped up in my feed a little while ago here. Oh, by the way, again, going back to that piece of shit Kinzinger before we talk about this one here. You actually had that cocksucker falsely claim that the Republican Party was dead now. And, yeah, it's just fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. What's even more disgusting, actually, is this bullshit right here. Bill Maher decries Trump worship after shooting, claiming America doesn't need a demigod. Go fuck yourself, Bill Maher, you fucking cunt. Like, I actually had somebody talk to me the other day that they were going to, if Bill Maher was running against Trump, wherever in the ticket and stuff, as a Democrat nominee or whatever now, like, you'd vote for Bill Maher's bitch ass, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, Bill Maher has drank the Kool-Aid and then some, bro. Like, what a fucking cunt, dude, seriously. I'm talking about Bill Maher, not the guy I was talking about. That was one of the buddies of a buddy of ours. Yeah, Bill Maher decries Trump worship after shooting, claiming America doesn't need a demigod. Yeah, and we also need a bunch of fucking assholes really calling for Trump's assassination and being like, oh, so sorry, the guy fucking missed and shit like that. Like, that's what half these fucking assholes are saying now, dude. And that's, by the way, that's your average fucking Democrat voter at this point, people. That's not like some far leftist, like, fucking AOC, commie, socialist piece of shit out there. That's like their fucking voter bases. That's their fucking main Democrat Party voter base and stuff like that. That are all over social media basically being like, oh, the shooter should have been a better shot. The guy should have, et cetera, et cetera. Mind you, there's already evidence coming out now. There's at least 2, if not 3 shooters that were there that fucking day in various places, because there was at least the second one that was potentially on a water tower there behind Trump, and that's where you have the 10th and 11th shot happen at, because it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which potentially was from the guy. There was actually one of the things I was looking at there. It was there's now audio recordings that prove that it was 3 different locations where shots were coming from, besides the shot that was the Secret Service guys taking out the dude. So potentially it was that first guy, maybe fired a shot or 2, and then it was somebody behind him then fired like the other 6 most likely, and then there was another one, and then of course you had the knife shot was the Secret Service popping off that round. And then 10 and 11 potentially came from the water towers as it was then. Because it was like a couple seconds in between those ones then. Between the time 9 hit and the time 10 and 11 went off then. So yeah, there's definitely a fucking thing. Not to mention the fact you now have it coming out that the quote-unquote DEI hires, the female agents that were there that day, weren't even fucking Secret Service. They were literally Department of Homeland Security people who were from some like investigations fucking unit for like desk jobs or something like that, who had no knowledge of how to do proper protocols to even secure the damn site. And I remember hearing there was a guy the other day who was like a biker guy for Trump or something like that, saying how he was actually able to literally like jump over a barricade or something like that and get in the same exact way the shooter kid did, because there was such a lax of security. You had security literally staring at this guy being like, "What's up, bro?" And he's like, "I'm just going to walk in." And they're like, "Okay." It's like, dude, it was 100% like a fucking just complete stand down coup to kill Donald Trump, dude. Seriously. And God forbid they had this succeed him. My God, dude, like this country would be more of a fucking shit show right now. I finally watched the finale of this current season of The Voice yesterday. And I shit you not, dude, the last 10 minutes of that fucking show, it would 100% have been exactly what would have happened had they assassinated Donald Trump then. You would have had martial law declared in this country. They would have empowered some kind of DACA cops / UN shock troops at that point. And we would have basically been on lockdown then to keep Biden, whoever the fuck else in the presidency is with this illegally. So, yeah, it's just complete insanity is what it is, dude. But anyway, going on to the last couple of stories we're going to talk about here, though, is what it is. We got almost half of this group of Americans own a gun. And said Americans have varied reasons for gun ownership. Their reasons include hunting, protections, shooting sports, and collecting. Some owners need them for their jobs. Law enforcement and soldiers keep a sidearm and usually some type of shotgun. Or really, it's a rifle in most cases, you idiots. So 2023 Gallup survey stated that 42% of Americans personally own a firearm. That's interesting. Only 42%, really. Less than half of America owns a gun. Those are some rookie-ass numbers. We need to get that shit up to like at least 75%, for God's sakes, at this point. So there are approximately 120.5 guns per 100 people in the U.S. Yeah, exactly. There's almost 121 guns per 100 people. Why does every single person not own at least one gun at that point, dude? With like another person owning like a second gun then. So whatever the reason behind owning a gun, firearm sales are booming in 2023. Industry generated as much as $90.06 billion in total economic activity, as reported by the Firearms Industry Trade Association. Which, by the way, that $90 billion, that's not profit or anything like that, dude. That's just, them manufacturing the shit and then like selling it, making some money off of a little bit of money off of it, and then taking a lot of that money and putting it back into the next manufacturing for the next set of firearms off the line is what it is then. Or if it's, because it also says firearms industry and stuff like that. So it could be, too, that it also is like ammo manufacturing, too, on that one. So, yeah, you're making like a little bit of money off ammo manufacturing, but then you're putting a lot of it back into, buying supplies, whether it be, the steel and copper and stuff like that, like the raw materials, etc., to make the bullets, the lead, etc. Gunpowder is another thing, primers are another thing, etc., etc., etc. There, you got to create all that shit, dude. So, anyway, it's important to note that gun ownership rates vary significantly among diverse demographic groups, regions, income brackets, and other categories. So here's my thing about that one, right? The income bracket thing. And this is exactly why I fought so hard for constitutional carry in this state for every year of my life right now. As somebody who is a poor white dude, I personally cannot afford to get a concealed carry license in this state, dude. And that's exactly why I fought so hard for constitutional carry, because it was them denying my rights to be able to protect myself, and at the time my mother, who was elderly as shit, from having a violent encounter, having somebody violently attack us or whatever the case be, and me having to defend our lives against that person. Whether it be us getting water at a local park in Canton, whether it be us going into a fucking grocery store down there, who the hell knows, because it's violent areas anymore, dude. Or God forbid we go down to Columbus or something like that, and it's just a ghetto shithole down there is what it is then. Of Islamic terrorism, of fucking, You know, a bunch of minorities trying to beat shit out of people every day is what it is, dude, etc. So yeah, there's a reason why I specifically fought for that shit, dude, from both my protection and the people up besides myself that couldn't afford this stuff of all races, colors, and creeds then. Anyway, it says geographic location dictates a notable difference in ownership rates. In the eastern U.S., approximately 22% of people own firearms. On the other hand, the southern states have reached about 44%, almost twice as high. That's very interesting, actually, dude. Which, actually, it makes sense, legitimately speaking, though, if you're talking about eastern U.S., because you're talking about probably like the eastern seaboard here, which a lot of those states, whether it be, you know, Delaware or Connecticut or Massachusetts and stuff like that, they're all run by a bunch of anti-gun motherfuckers with this, dude. And that's exactly why you would have something like that happen. Because you have people being so restricted in what they can even buy or how they can even buy a gun. Like, look at Illinois right now. I mean, you got people like Leo out there living in the heart of Chicago who has to have a fucking FOID card, a literal fucking, like, ID to even buy guns. It's like, how unconstitutional is that shit, dude? Like, I still understand. Like, how has that not been deemed unconstitutional at this point, bro? Because it totally is. It's nothing different than the Jim Crow era crap that was recently repealed in Michigan, or not Michigan, in North Carolina there, with that racist piece of shit Roy Cooper, where he vetoed the legislation to repeal this piece of crap legislation that was on the books in Jim Crow era twice, and it was only the second time where you had like a handful of Democrats that were in power at that point that were like sort of like blue dog Democrats and stuff like that at the state level that were like, you know what, fuck this racist asshole, like this is ridiculous, like why are we keeping this piece of shit legislation on the books right now when it's obviously racist as hell and classist as hell? And they're like, no. And they literally joined with the majority of Republicans at that point and had enough votes to veto override Roy's bullshit is what it was, dude. And yeah, up until that point, North Carolina you had to literally get a permit to purchase a handgun in the state of North Carolina and give quote unquote good cause for why you should be able to buy guns in that state. It's a bunch of shit, dude. It's completely unconstitutional. It violates everyone's Second Amendment rights. Doesn't matter the race, doesn't matter the religion, doesn't matter the creed, etc. There. It's bullshit across the board is what it is, dude. And it's stuff that I personally will always fight against because it's a bunch of shit from a forgotten era in this country's history where, yeah, there was a lot of fucking racist-ass Democrats in power back then, dude. The fucking Dixiecrats of society at that point. So, yeah, fuck all those people, dude, for real. The ones that created the fucking Klan, and then, of course, now they created the actual Black Klan on the Taney, aka BLM now, 70, 80 years later, what it is there. So, anyway. Oh, wait, that was the Bill Maher article. So, yeah, it's this one here. Yeah, we're going back to the 2A article there. Okay, so yeah, southern states have about 41% ownership right there. That's still below 50 there. This is ridiculous. So 24/7 Wall Street reviewed the most recent Gallup poll. Said household gun ownership in the U.S. among subgroups. Said survey questioned whether respondents possessed firearms individually. Participants were categorized by criteria such as gender, political party affiliation, age, geographical region, household income, and community type. Okay, so that was a different thing entirely right there. So that was the first thing there. So we got, so why this matters, 24/7 is covering trends in gun ownership because the gun industry has wide-reaching effects on the nation's economy. It says multi-million-dollar corporations that manufacture, distribute, and sell firearms stimulate the economy on a national and local level. When a consumer purchases a firearm from a notable firearms company such as Smith & Wesson, Ruger, SIG, I love how they added the last one, or Springfield Armory. First of all, Springfield is not a notable company, dude. They are a fucking bunch of scumbags who tried to fuck over Second Amendment rights back in, I think it was like 2012 or 13, someplace in there, where it was them and Rock River Arms combining together because the dude who was in question that helped facilitate the shit was a lawyer guy for both of those companies and had his office like right by, I think it was the AG of Illinois at the time, like in the same building there or whatever, and was trying to cut a deal with them because it was the fucking state of Illinois government, Democrats in power then, that were trying to fuck over gun rights in that state. And it was basically this dude trying to cut a deal to be like, okay, can we have Springfield and Rock River Arms be like the two main groups that can actually, sell guns in the state, essentially be like a monopoly is what it is there. And then everybody else we got fucked over then, like the mom and pop, smaller manufacturers, and then, anybody else that wanted to like literally just be a gun shop in general is what it is there. And yeah, they pretty much screwed us over there at that point, dude. Not to mention you got the people that actually own Springfield Armor right now who have falsely claimed that their shit is made in America when it's actually manufactured in Croatia. The SDs is what it is there. So that's why you should never buy from Springfield. If you're going to buy Springfield stuff, it should be legitimately used stuff anyway then. But yeah, just a slap in the face on that one though. So anyway, there's the other group. And actually, I would consider Taurus firearms at this point a hell of a lot better than fucking Springfield Armory, dude. Seriously, like they're a hell of a lot more 2A at this point, honestly. So anyway, continues on. So they support an array of jobs created in the industry, as well as generating tax revenue at the state and federal levels. So scroll down and see if Americans who own the most guns, 18 categories ranked. Okay, so that'd be next thing here. Oh, that'd be a different one. Okay, then we got 18 party affiliation, Democrat. It says percent who personally own a firearm, 20% of Democrats currently. So I feel like this is kind of hypocritical of most of these people, by the way, because they're usually the ones that are, actively trying to grab guns, the moms and maniacs types of the world, stuff like that, but they're going to be a hypocrite and be a gunner or two on top of that. Then it's like, y'all are just scumbags, dude, for real. You're just a hypocrite piece of shit at that point. Because you're just trying to be an elitist asshole and be like, well, I should own guns for my personal protection, but fuck all those people over there that are poor and everything else like that in this country. And that's the one thing I do hate the most about the elitism in the 2A community here on YouTube and stuff like that, dude, is there's so many fucking people out there that will just shit talk, whether it be Taurus as a company or really any other, firearms manufacturer that makes affordable guns for everybody, what it is there, and are all like, oh, but you should totally buy Glock as like the only gun, or you should totally go spend like, $1,000 or something on a fucking SIG, whatever it is there, dude. And it's like, yeah, then why don't you give me like $700 fucking dollars because I can only afford a $300 pistol at this point, buddy. So seriously. No, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to buy a fucking gun that I can afford, whether that be a Taurus G2C or a Taurus G3C or whatever the case be, and I'm going to buy some ammunition with that gun and be able to practice with that gun and get good with that gun. And if I ever do have a self-defense encounter, guess what? I'm actually going to be able to have rounds through that gun and know it's going to function fine when it does have to save my life, potentially, in a life and death situation, versus, the fucking Glock on layaway that I'm paying payments on for the next, fucking 6 months or whatever it is there, because I can only pay X amount of money a month or something like that then. And then, God forbid, trying to afford him on top of that, then on top of everything else then. It's like, nah, bro, I'm going to have the friggin' handgun right here next to me that I'm literally holding on to with my right hand right now, off camera. So, because it's that close to me. It's like G.D. Vance was talking about the other day with his grandma and her having to stage guns around the house. We didn't say stage because I think he was just not even thinking about it, what it is there. But yeah, it was grandma staging pistols everywhere so she could actually have one within hand's reach is what it is there, dude, with her arm's length there is what it is. To protect herself and everybody else in the house at the time. So, which on that one, like you would think if you're elderly and stuff like that, why wouldn't you just carry like a slinged bag around like your shoulder or something like that, dude, and just have something sitting in that all times, so that way when you're in the toilet and stuff like that, you can really have like a gun in the bag. If somebody comes breaking in the house, you can just pull it out of your fucking bag or something like that. Then, so that would have probably been a smarter thing. You just have like random guns staged everywhere then. Oh, by the way, today's episode is brought to you by Gilliam candy sticks. I'm not sure exactly what they're called offhand, but yeah, it's like little hard candy stick things or whatever. I was at a local shop yesterday with my sister and her guy, and they had these 4 for $1 a piece, so we each got $1 worth is what it was then. So I got a green apple one, a blueberry one, a second green apple one, and then what's this last one? A watermelon kind. They also had a couple other ones. They were like there was one that was like passion fruit. And that's what her guy did. That's one of the ones her guy got. And then I'm trying to think now. So yeah, they had green apple, blueberry, watermelon, passion fruit. I think one of them was banana or something like that, which is just ugh. And then they had like spearmint and some other ones at the bottom. There was like 12 or 13 entirely. So, and they had quite a bit, several of them. And then there's other ones that had like next to nothing left. I think the watermelon had about 4 or 5 left when we grabbed ours out then. So, but yeah, you can't beat 4 for $1, man, on those things. Like that's like some fucking old Ben Franklin's. They used to be one of the 5 and dimes around here. Is what it is. They don't really exist anymore because y'all went out of business, unfortunately. But yeah, growing up as a kid, I remember there was a place called Ben Franklin's around here, and it was you could go in there and get like a sack of candy for like 50 cents is what it was, dude. Legitimately, it was all like penny a piece basically at that point. I remember doing it as a kid, man. We would go. Like sometimes there was things a little more expensive, like maybe like 10 cents for like a little like jelly thing of like a turtle or some kind of animal at that point. Then like a mold. But for the most part, there was stuff that it was like 1 or 2 cents, and maybe like one that was like 5 cents a piece or something like that. But yeah, it was one of those things growing up, man. It was awesome because it was on Main Street and everything like that. And it's like, you know, it was small town America, bro. Like it's one of those things that makes you smile as an adult now. Now, granted, as a kid, like, you know, giving me a bunch of sugar, making me fat was probably not a good idea. But yeah, at the same time, it's just like, you know, it is what it is, man. It's just, you know, it's like spending time with family is what it is, dude. You know, it's like myself, my mom, my sister, my brother, all having a good time together, man. And then her doing whatever over there and like talking to the shopkeeper and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just fun times is what it is, man. I think that particular place is now some kind of a cafe, if I'm not mistaken, there. So it's in the town over from here there. So also found out, I want to actually do an update on that one too for that matter, since we're here right now. That Scumlord guy that kept calling me like 5 times or whatever. So apparently, I guess that place that he was trying to rent out there has either been rented out to somebody else, or he just took it off the market entirely because it's no longer there for rent anymore. So I assume it's either some dumbass went in there and got fucked over. That was not me, obviously. Or it was potentially, he's like, well, there's nobody actually that wants to rent the place, or whatever the case be, and just takes off the market. That's what it is right now. So yeah, that guy was a total scumbag is what it is, dude. Like he was definitely trying to fuck me over on that one. It's like, nah, bro, not having that shit. Fuck you. So, but anyway, back to the gun article here in question though. So 20% of Democrats on firearms, supposedly, according to that poll, there is what it is. Which it makes me wonder how many people were actually polled for this, though. I'm going to go back and see if I can find a thing for that one because I want to see how many people were actually polled for this. Is what it is, and see exactly what it states then for this. It should have said it at one point here. Okay, let's see. 80% of Americans industry. Okay, here we go. So it should be this poll right here, this household ownership poll. It comes up here. Okay, well, that particular poll took me to another link from 2022 that claimed diminished majority supports stricter gun laws in the U.S., which is absolute bullshit entirely, dude. First of all, there was never a majority of anti-gunners in this fucking country, you jackasses. What it was a diminished minority that got even more diminished, and people were like, no, fuck you, stop trying to stupid with gun rights, you dick smokes. So, anyway. Yeah, I don't think it says how many people are there. Oh, no, I guess this is the article then. So let's figure that out now. I'm trying to figure this out. It says how many people polled here. Let's see, October 30th. October 3rd to 20th, 2022. Just trying to see if they actually showed the polling numbers on this or not. Usually it's like 1,000 people or less to get polled for these things. That's why I'm at. That's what I'm trying to figure out, like the actual number of people that actually got polled for. This is what it is. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything on that one. So it's semantics at that point then. But anyway. So yeah, so whatever the actual number was there, 20% of the Democrats that were polled for it, they said that they were gunners in the country is what it is then. And then we got percent who personally own a firearm, gender female, 21%. Region East, percent who personally own a firearm, 22%. So East Coast states. Annual household income of less than $40,000. Percent of people who purchase a firearm, 22%. Type of community, big/small city. Percent who own a firearm, 26%. So that's actually interesting. So a major city or a minor city, the firearms ownership actually goes up by 4% on that one then, which makes sense because, again, those are going to be places you're getting most of they get robbed / carjacked, violent encounter, maybe, raped, etc. there. So we got age bracket 18 to 34, 26% ownership there. Got the West Coast regions, 27% firearms ownership there is what it is. So you're talking about like California and stuff like that, that's what it would be then, which is really interesting, honestly, on that one. And we got party affiliation independent, 32% of independents posing a firearm there. Got Midwest, 35% firearms ownership in the Midwest there. Age 55 and over, percentage for firearms ownership is 35%. Annual household income between $40,000 and $100,000, almost 35% firearms ownership in those people. And then we got type of community, suburb of big/small city, 36% firearms ownership there is what it is. So more people own firearms in the suburbs than they own in ghetto inner cities and stuff like that. So it sounds like. And then we got 35 to 54, which is my age bracket. 38% firearms ownership in this one. I can see that. Because the older you get, the unfortunately weaker you get as a physical body starts breaking down and everything else like that. So you need to be able to protect yourself with that equalizer as a firearm. Then is what it is. So then we got type of community, town/rural area, 41% ownership there. So where I'm at, it's all 41%. Here's what it is, dude. Then we got people in the South, 44% ownership there. Male gender, almost 50% at 46%. Actually, the highest one of everything, then, dude. I'm trying to figure it out. I think there's a Glock that guy's holding his hand there, which, by the way, that is terrible firearms handling, bro. You don't have your fucking finger in the trigger guard on the trigger unless you're literally on target, either about to shoot or you're holding somebody at gunpoint or something like that because they are, doing criminal shit or whatever then. So, yeah, that's just terrible right there. That is, dude. That's some Hollywood bullshit right there. Is what that is, dude. That's like okay firearm safety. That's why Alec Baldwin was able to kill a woman there on set. And then we got number 2, annual household income $100,000 or more. 47% firearms ownership there is what it is, dude. So the rich people in our society are all about owning firearms, dude. Which doesn't surprise me, because those tend to be the people like the Bloomberg types that are total hypocrite pieces of shit, where they'll sit there and be like, oh, we're going to have our private security be able to protect our asses with firearms, but fuck you peasants out there being able to protect yourselves. So, anyway. And then we finally got number 1, Republican affiliation. 48% gun ownership in Republicans there. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that one, dude. So, interesting little survey there. And then finally, the last story I want to talk about here for the day is this one, which is that piece of shit Oregon BM114. Oregon gun law ruling deemed unconstitutional is turning legal standards on their head. Is it, though? Because, again, this is one of the pieces of shit here that should have never, ever been able to even be passed in any kind of ballot measure at all, dude, or any piece of legislation for that matter at all. So, Stella Rosa. I wonder if that's like Stella Artois almost, but like cheaper. I will say one thing. My sister's friend actually gave us. She did a book. She wrote a book, and they were doing a publishing event. There was what it was, where they had published the first one or whatever. And they were doing like a book signing that night. And it was her grandmother had bought everybody little bottles of. I can't remember what they were offhand. But it was like that weird little champagne stuff, and I thought it was really good. Like, it was actually something where I guess I like this stuff now. And then I gave a little bit to my mom to have a sip of it or whatever, and she's like, "Ooh, that's nasty." And I was like, "Really? You don't think it's that good?" And apparently her mind was, because she didn't like it at all. And yeah, I was like fucking full bottle chugging that bitch is what it was, dude. So I forget what that was offhand now I'm thinking about it. I know they sell it places around here in like 4-packs. So yeah, I'm trying to look it up now and see if I can't find it now. I wonder if it was actually sparkling wine now that I think about it. I can't remember offhand. Okay, that's not any of those ones I'm looking at right now on this page. Yeah, it's gonna annoy the shit out of me. Oh, I think this is right here actually. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it was what's that here now? That's not it. Let's see if I can find this friggin' grab this picture up and blow this picture up what it is then to zoom in on it then, because I think it is on this picture that has the one I'm looking at. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Martini and Rossi Asti. That shit is fucking good, by the way. If you never had that, I suggest you try it, man, because I am definitely a fan. So, yeah, it's some good shit, man. And yeah, it was these little. I don't know what they were. I think it was like little minis almost, because it was like not yay big or so, and it was like that kind of thing. It was like 600 or 750 milliliters, something like that in there for each one of them. So I think Grandma basically got like a deal on a bunch of cases. Was there something? And yeah, it was good stuff, man. It was good stuff. Like it was like because they originally given it to us on the table or whatever, and so it was not like it was kind of chill, but not really that cold. And everybody else is like tasting theirs at the table, and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna save mine for later, whatever the case be. And Mom's like, me too, or whatever. And so yeah, I put them in the fridge door for like a day or two, is what it was. Let them get nice and chilled out, man. And yeah, when I popped that shit, it was like ice cold. It like, oh my god, it was so fucking good. Ooh, now I kind of want some of that right now, actually. I'm not even a big drinker either, but now I kind of want some of those. Is what it is now, dude. Like little ones. So, but anyway, yeah, it kind of makes me wonder though with the Martini and Rossi if it has anything to do with that Stella Rosa, if it's something similar like that. That's random. My phone keeps going off over here. Huh. Weird. Strange. All right, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it was Oregon's BS thing being ruled unconstitutional, putting quote-unquote legal standards on their head. It says Oregon gun law. Said a Henry County judge from the state of Oregon has issued a preliminary injunction against the highly controversial ballot measure 114. The measure aims to implement a limitation on the capacity of ammunition magazines, being anything of 10 rounds, among other stronger gun laws. Which, by the way, like I said, it was this whole thing was literally bought and paid for by Bloomberg and Giffords at the tune of like I think it was less than $1 million or something like that. It ended up working out to be like I think it was like $1.71 or $1.81 per person to vote for it is what it was in the state of Oregon there. And yeah, fuck that bullshit, dude. Anyways, for the past several years, the decision has been at the center of a heated debate with a significant portion of the state's population contesting its constitutionality, making it a topic of significant impact and engagement. I talked about this shit, by the way, when it passed a couple of years back now, dude. I said then, I was like, no, that shouldn't have been on the fucking ballot at all because it was unconstitutional then. And that alone, whoever the fucking Oregon Secretary of State was at that point, dude, should have been immediately fucking fired on the spot and caught charges at that point for even putting this bullshit on the fucking ballot measure. And the same thing exactly with the fucking Board of Elections people on that one, too. Because every single one of their fucking corrupt asses, I guarantee, took a fucking bribe to even put that crap through as what was there, Oregon, dude. So, anyway. Yeah, so ballot measure 114, November 2022. Oregon voters narrowly passed ballot measure 114, which aimed to strengthen several gun laws in the state. Around, there we go, 50.7% of the region, so less than 1% of people, it could have gone either way at that point, voted in favor of the measure, which requires residents to acquire a permit should they wish to purchase a weapon. It also prohibits the sale of ammunition magazines that hold more than 10 rounds in many circumstances, except for the cops, by the way. That's always who it doesn't affect, dude. It's the cops and the fucking military. Because who's going to be the jackbooted fucking thugs that are going to carry out the fucking orders of the Bloomberg fucking literal Nazi cunts of the world? It's going to be their fucking piece of shit ass cops and their fucking piece of shit ass military people at that point. Which is exactly why they get exempt from this kind of shit, dude. And this fucking garbage is across the board. If anything, they should be the only ones to be affected by these fucking things. What it is, dude. It's like, yeah, you want to be not a hypocrite piece of shit, dude? Then be the guy taking fucking 10 rounds in your own fucking magazine then. And show everybody by, example that, oh, yeah, you can totally take down a suspect with 10 rounds or less. And multiple suspects, too, for that matter. But no, you can't. That's why you assholes put 17, 18 rounds in your fucking guns. And then mag dump one guy is what it is, dude, with 18 fucking rounds is what it is then. So, in many cases. Or like that guy in, what was it, Maryland? I think he had I want to say it was a Glock 40 or something like that, that's what it was, dude. Or whatever Glock is in that 40 cal configuration, like Glock 23, whatever it is there or something, where it's 15, 16 rounds. And yeah, you literally see him bang, 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 a bunch of times, and then realize there's still one in the chamber and is pop, one last time, and then flips the mag out, drops another mag in there is what it is, and then racks one into the chamber at that time. So, but yeah, it's a bunch of shit. And by the way, this shit is nothing more than what I talked about earlier with that piece of shit Roy Cooper, dude. It's a creation of a 2020s version of Jim Crow shit, dude, which is having to acquire a permit to buy a gun. First of all, how does that not immediately get struck down as unconstitutional based on the fact that it is literally infringing on the Second Amendment rights of the people to have a free state and a well-regulated militia so that they cannot be infringed upon? It's total infringement, dude, at that point in time in history, as it should be considered such. Anyways, the law sure was the pass, said despite ballot measure 114 narrowly passing in 2022, it has yet to go into effect due to public outcry, which has brought it with it several states and federal challenges, said predominant Henry County Judge Robert Risso has voiced concern about the law and successfully prevented it from passing after struggling, suggesting that concern aspects of the measure are unconstitutional. It's all unconstitutional. That's the entire point. No part of that fucking piece of shit measure is any kind of constitutional at that point, dude. It's all an infringement upon the Second Amendment of this country's history. It has the right to keep and bear arms. The state has argued that Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon State Constitution says that citizens have the right to bear arms. By the way, it's interesting to me that it's Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon State Constitution, when literally here in Ohio, it's Article 1, Section 4, dude. It's the fourth thing in our state constitution here in Ohio. And these fucking retards in Oregon, when they created that state, couldn't even do it until 27. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Again, that should be the top 5, dude, if not the second thing at that point then. Goddamn, Oregon, you guys suck ass for real, dude. And I can say that, too, because my fucking lefty aunt and a bunch of my lefty cousins live in that fucking state, dude. I don't know why they vote leftists. It's news to me on that one, but yeah, they do. Now, granted, there's also a couple of her kids that are hardcore right at this point, dude. Super pro-Trump and stuff like that, so... But yeah, Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon State Constitution says citizens have the right to bear arms, but this is only for self-defense. The law does not give Oregon citizens the absolute right to bear arms. Bullshit, it fucking doesn't, dude. The Constitution itself does. The U.S. Constitution, jackasses. So, however, a judge believed that this regulation infringes upon the constitutional right to bear arms, because it fucking does. And then we got opposing ballot measure 114. So the NRA, LRA calls Measure 114 the nation's most extreme gun control initiative, citing that it would ban ammo magazines with more than 10 rounds, require government permission to exercise your right to bear arms, and allow personal information to be added to a government registry, aka gun roster, That's another thing it does create. It does create like universal background check BS is what it is, dude, which is all unconstitutional for that matter. It's a quote, under the gaze of the Reduction of Gun Violence Act, ballot measure 114 is an unconstitutional anti-gun initiative package that includes a state-run government registry of gun owners' personal information and firearms. So again, confiscation hit like what we're talking about for years now, people. These are literally Hitlerian gun rosters by fucking scumbag Nazi fucking pricks like Michael Bloomberg and Gabby Giffords, dude. And you cannot tell me these people are not fucking modern-day Nazis at this point when they were literally doing the same goddamn brown shirt shit that Hitler and his fucking regime did in Nazi Germany in the 1940s, dude. So, anyway. And the same thing with Stalin, the same thing with Mao, the same thing with Pol Pot, the same thing with every other fucking wannabe dictator throughout American history. It's a bunch of shit, man, entirely. Anyway, continuing on said, yeah, it gives people's personal information, firearms information, requires a permit to purchase a firearm, imposes an indefinite delay. There you go. Indefinite delay on background checks. So potentially, like, doesn't matter like how long it is. Could be 30 days, could be 90 days, 100 days, whatever it is there. And bans any magazine over 10 round capacity. I already wrote then. It said, we got number 6. It said, third of the appeal. It said, lawyers for the state argue that the judge turned, quote, legal standards on their head. Of course you fucking leftist sacks of shit in Oregon did, dude. Fuck yourselves. Every single one of you scumbag lawyers for the state of Oregon that are clearly like leftist pieces of shit should have been disbarred on the fucking spot for this shit, dude. Anyway, said you should have found the measures, regulations, constitutional as written under the existing law. No, they're fucking not, you dick smokes. Go fuck yourselves. So the court trial weighed the policy merits of the measure for itself and at the same time refused to consider published studies and reports of the public safety benefits of each of the law's 3 components. Because there's not, dickheads. What you're trying to cite there is some fucking horseshit ass, leftist ass created fucking dumbass polls of less than 1,000 people at some fucking state college there in Oregon. That's a bunch of goddamn college-age commies, Antifa motherfuckers too in many cases. And BLM terrorists as well on top of that, dude. And be like, look, all these anti-terrorists support this measure. Of course they fucking do, because they don't want their victims to be fucking armed and be able to kill their asses in self-defense. So yeah, of course a bunch of fucking leftists support that shit, dude. Fucking tards. Fucking idiots, dude. I really fucking hate these people so much, dude. Like, I seriously fucking hate these statist fucking pieces of shit for the states is what it is, dude. Whether it be lawyer assholes who shouldn't have fucking licenses or anything else for that matter. Because it's a bunch of horseshit all the way around, man. Anyway. Let's see what we got now. Continuing on here, it said, illegal error. Nadia H. DeHab, an attorney for the state's appeal, said that the judge used the wrong legal analysis by focusing on the speculative inquiry about whether the law could ever be applied unconstitutionally, which is a bunch of horseshit entirely. No, he fucking didn't, you lying bitch. And then it was Oregonians have a right to self-defense, says judge, said voters for Henry Count expressed opposition to the bill, which with as many as 85% voting against its implementation, said Judge Rencio, then issued an emergency injunction which delayed Measure 114 going into effect. It said Oregon citizens have a right to self-defense against an imminent threat of harm, which is unduly burdened by ballot Measure 114. That's the entire point, dude. It's them trying. And by the way, Oregon is one of several states over there on the West Coast, dude, that is literally being invaded by fucking illegals all across the earth right now, and yet they're trying to steal their everyday American citizens' gun rights in the state. How fucking retardedly unconstitutional is that, dude? Like, there's by the way, there's a reason why most of Oregon wants to become Greater Idaho now, because they fucking hate the goddamn shithole of Portland that is fucking controlling the rest of the damn state at that point, dude. Which is why I've said several times, what we need in this country right now, honestly, is city-states, where the entire fucking city itself, it's totally fucking walled off, like that one series years ago that was on the CW, and you have fucking literal, it's kind of like that movie, Army of the, that's what it's called, right? The one that Bautista and those guys were in recently. And yeah, it would be them putting like giant ass fucking barricades there, where it would just be like 6, 7 layers deep of welded shipping containers. And yeah, you would have it basically be a walled off city then. You would have everybody in the city then being controlled by whoever the fuck is the mayor, etc. There, they have nothing outside that city limits, is what it would be then. They don't control shit for that state, is what it is then, dude. And they get no fair representation at all then, for that matter, either, or even state representation on top of that. So all they have is that little, like, whatever square block of that city exists is what it is there, and that's it. It would be so much better off as a country right now because they have all these Democrat help pockets kill themselves in about a year or two, and the rest of us will all be better off for it, is what it is then, dude. So, anyway. So, according to that judge, one major problem with the proposed ballot measure is that residents of Oregon could have to wait at least 30 days to purchase a firearm. It says the proposed permit to purchase program mimics the concealed handgun license scheme, reducing the right of to bear arms and an unduly burdensome administrative due process right. Exactly. That's the entire point, dude. FBI background checks with stalled weapons permits, said the judge, continued by suggesting the lack of FBI background checks would only further stall permit process, thereby placing a further burden on Oregonians' right to keep and bear arms, saying it could last pretty much indefinitely. Because it would. That's the entire point, dude. It's basically a way to fuck everybody out of the ability to even own guns in this country. It says large magazines protection under Constitution is in reference to the state's attempt to ban large capacity magazines, aka anything standard capacity at that point. It said Judge Rencio argued that they are protected under Article 1, Section 27 of the Oregon State Constitution, and therefore any attempt to remove them would be a violation of the Constitution. It said, quote, there is no historical basis for limiting the size and capacity of firearms, including their magazines. So Judge later added that, quote, firearms technology at the founding of the state is the foundation of the current firearms technology. Damn right it is. So, and it goes on from there and talks about like the rest of the shit then. So, yeah, it's a bunch of scumbags trying to take away our guns, is what it is. And then we got huge one for gunners. I think that's a Smith & Wesson 30, if I'm not mistaken, right there. I mean, that's a Charter Arms, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I wouldn't mind having a little snub nose like that, dude, honestly. At some point in the future. Maybe like a little Taurus or something like that. I've been thinking about different guns I'd like to buy in the future, actually. Like, I would definitely like to get one of the Taurus 942s and 22. I also wouldn't mind getting, if I could get like a deal on it or whatever the case be, like some kind of a little Taurus 38 or something like that as a backup gun to carry with me or whatever at all times. That I could just toss off to somebody else that I was with or whatever if I needed to have that be a thing. Or, God forbid, my primary stops working for some reason or whatever the case be, I can just pull the revolver out and, like, essentially, like, finish the self-defense is what it is then. So, anyway. Plus, it would be nice because I could literally go full, if I needed to. I could go full cowboy. Gotta put the cowboy hat back on. Yeah, I can go full cowboy. Cowboy. So, I'll wear this for the rest of the article. But yeah, I was huge one for gunners. It said plaintiffs for the suit include Joseph Arnold, Cliff Asmussen, Gunners of America, Inc., and Gun Owners Foundation, all of whom have all stood firm behind the judge over the past 2 years. So following the decision of the Oregon Court of Appeals, the Gun Owners Foundation took to X to celebrate the win, writing a huge win in strong anti-gun territory. Damn right it is. And it says the judge and Oregon Gunners win for now. It says thanks to the work of the judge and his associates, ballot measure 114 will not be in effect for now, while the proposed gun laws remain highly controversial because they're unconstitutional. Fuck is what it is, you jackasses. So Oregonians will have to wait a little longer until the court makes its final decision on whether ballot measure 114 can pass or not. It fucking better not. Because I'll personally see the shit out of state of Oregon at that point, do myself right now under High Picture Education Network. when we create our second version of Open, which is going to be Oregon Patriot Education Network. And eventually we're going to have Oklahoma Patriot Education Network. So we'll have 3 Opens with this then, baby. That'll be my endgame eventually. I plan on having a Patriot Education Network in all 50 states at some point in the future when I can get the money together and actually have people that will actually run them at state levels what it is there. So that'll be my full end game is what it is then sometime down the line. But unfortunately, I don't have the abilities that piece of shit like Bloomberg does, dude. So anyway. Of course, you got retard AOC there. What a stupid fucking cunt, dude. By the way, this dumb bitch, by toning down the rhetoric the other day, literally jacked it up by like tenfold, calling Trump a neo-Nazi and some other shit, dude. And it's like, why is she still in Congress, man? Like, for real. Like, why is she still a sitting congresswoman at this point in history? But she shouldn't be. Yeah, it said, conversation about gun laws has gone cold. So compared to the attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan in 1981, a moment that sparked a nationwide movement to confront gun violence, lawmakers are dragging their feet and talking about gun laws in the country. So many Democrat lawmakers and quote-unquote gun safety activists who are normally quick to respond to gun violence have stayed relatively quiet. Be quiet on their attacks after the attack. I'm assuming this is President Trump's assassination then, maybe? I'm talking about there? Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Trump's assassination was actually talking about here as well. So, yeah, except for dumb bitches like AOC, who's opened her super fucking mouth several times, and that's what it is. I want to point something out, too, by the way. The Reagan assassination attempt in 81 there, dude, literally is why the Brady campaign existed after that, because it was James Brady that was killed in that attack. And then it was his dumbass fucking family created the Brady campaign thing that Bloomberg, about 10 years ago or so, bought out in like 2012, 2014, something like that's what it was, in somewhere in there. And so basically, these are the groups that Michael Bloomer personally owns, by the way, anti-gun groups. He owns Every Town for Gun Safety. He owns Mamas to Me Action. He owns Students to Me in Action. He owns the Brady campaign. And I believe he owns at least like 2 or 3 state-level orgs, too, if I'm not mistaken, that are anti-gun. So he owns 4 major, like, federal anti-gun orgs out there. And then he owns, I think it's like anywhere from like 2 or 3, if not more, like local level ones, or at least funds them anyway, backdoor, just to hand them money basically to be an org is what it is there at a state level. So, and then of course you got Giffords being Gabby Giffords group is what it is there. So, but yeah, it's all scumbag shit is what it is, dude. Which, by the way, that alone, Giffords existing right now as a group right now, dude, is why Mark Kelly should not be allowed to hold office in the U.S. Senate right now, because he has direct ties to an anti-gun organization with his fucking wife being head of it is what it is right now, dude. And until that changes, like, his ass doesn't need to be near fucking office at this point in history, ever. End of fucking story. So, anyway. Other than that, though, I'm got to go do a couple of things, including hit the bathroom pretty quick here, so. But other than that, that's what we're going to be at for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry for no Freedom Friday yesterday, which was like 2 days ago, actually, on Friday, because I just wasn't feeling it, man. I was so tired. I was so exhausted. I had stuff to do around here. And then, of course, I had to do a stand your ground Saturday last night because I would fall asleep in the chair again. I was going to do one right around the time that Matt was doing his little geek chat or whatever right after that then, and I literally just nodded off. I was awake at about 8 o'clock last night to about 8:30 or so, and I fell asleep. By the time I woke up, it was like 10:45 or something like that, and my eye was hurting like a bitch and stuff like that, and I was like super exhausted still, and I'm just like, you know what, fuck, I'm going to go to bed then. And sure enough, didn't wake up until about 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning is what it is then. And then it was after that I jumped on here then is what it was. So, but, yeah. And right now it's just after 5 a.m., so I might stay up for about another hour or so and then go to bed for another few hours and then try to get at least a couple hours of REM sleep today is what it'll be. So, and then we figured out, I think my sister's really trying to fuck me out of staying in the house permanently is what it is right now for decent rent is what it is, because we were talking to the guy yesterday and we were talking in the car and she was thinking like $800 a month or whatever for the time being. And I'm just like, that seems kind of high. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that seems kind of high, man. Like, especially when he was thrown out there a while ago, like, you know, a few hundred a month or whatever they was like, so it'd be like $400 or $500 maybe a month or something like that then. So yeah, like nothing else. I think for honestly, like come September 1st, it should be like for the rest of the year, maybe like $2,000, $2,200 for the rest of the year or something like that, then for 4 months rent. And then after that, maybe jack it up to like, you know, I'm going to stay for like another year or whatever, then maybe go up to like $750, $800 then for that. That'd be the case then. So at least I don't have a little bit of money to work with after the fact then. Because if I stay here for more than like, a year or two, I'm going to be almost out of money at that point then, which sucks ass. So, but yeah, I figure I'm gonna try to stay till at least 2026 anyway, and then figure it out from there. So it'll be, but yeah, it is what it is, man. So if that means I'm spending like, something like $9,000 or something just to stay here for a year, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. Although it'd be about the same anywhere else, though, man. So I definitely need to get something coming in right now, financially wise. Whether that be them finally giving my disability to me or whatever the case is there, because I definitely need some fucking money coming into this house right now, is what it is. So either that or find a job I can do online a few hours a day or something like that, maybe. Maybe a decent paycheck from that, maybe. So I don't know. I really just need to start doing like reseller stuff, I think, regularly is what it is, and just buying and selling, stuff like that is what it is, man. Wheeling and dealing, if you will. So, but yeah, it's nice to know I'm not going to have to leave here anytime soon, is what it is. Then I also have until basically, I have at least like 5 more weeks anyway, to be here no matter what, because it would be, I want to say it's like the 31st of August / September 1st is when they're talking about possibly doing the closing date then. So that's like, it's like 5 weeks from set. Actually, no, I think about it, it'd be the 2nd then. Yeah, because it would be September 2nd. Then would be the day. That's the next Monday then. So yeah, because the 31st would be Saturday, and then it would be Sunday, and then Monday would be the 1st or the 2nd. So yeah, probably September 2nd then. And then that's when I'd start paying rent, will be like September. So it'll be September, October, November, December, which would be roughly, at the $800 a month, would be, give or take, over $3,000 for just the end of this year, what it is then, which is ridiculous, honestly. Even if I was paying $750 someplace else, that would be at least, $200 less, than that'd be still like around $3,000, but it'd be a little bit less though. But yeah, basically my thing right now, I'm thinking offhand right now, is potentially, I kind of want TV still, like just because, like if I can figure out like a deal to make with Spectrum for at least a year anyway, and get just like a decent TV package for that first year, where it would just be like the basic stuff at like the cheapest rate possible, whatever the case be, and then just get hopefully roughly the same internet I have right now, but just a lot cheaper as it would be then. And hopefully that would be maybe like $60, $70 a month if that would be the case then. So that'd be, that would work out too as well. And then it would be, obviously the electric is covered in my rent price then as well. So that's not an issue then at that one also. Apparently so is the trash going to be covered too on that one. So that's good. So yeah, the $800 a month is not too bad when you think about it, when I'm still having, utilities included on that one then, which would be electric and trash pickup as it would be then. So, and then it would just be, from there. It would be, so essentially I'd be paying like, what is being said here is I'm essentially still paying like, like in my rent, I'm actually still paying for, the electric and the trash, but it would be, so essentially I'm paying like $680, I guess is what I'd say then, for rent, plus utilities would be another 120-ish or so, give or take. So it'd be like $650 to $680, someplace in there, plus utilities. So, which is not super bad, but again, I wish it was more like $600, honestly. But unfortunately, everything around here is like $7+ is what it is then. So, anyways. Jesus Christ. Actually, I'm going to go back to that anti-gun bullshit for a minute there, because they were talking about after Trump's assassination attempt here is what it is. Says that those supporting for new gun laws. It says some Democrat lawmakers are stepping up to encourage stricter gun laws across America, advocating that these laws could protect everyone from everyday people and high-profile politicians like Donald Trump. Said, quote, our nation simply does not have to hand assassinations and mass murders the weapons to make the slaughter possible. Said fuck-face pedophile Chris Murphy, dipshit Democrat should have been thrown out of office in Connecticut years ago and lead voice on so-called gun safety issues. No, you're not, you fucking prick. You're the lead fucking voice on anti-gunner bullshit that should see your ass in a fucking prison cell for the rest of your goddamn life, you fucking sack of shit, dickless pedophile. As you're literally attacking people's constitutional rights, you fucking asshole. That committing deprivation of code of law every single day, your piece of shit ass stays in office, you fucking dick smoker. Like, it's way past time for this motherfucker to catch charges at this point, dude. Seriously. It is way past time for Chris Murphy to be thrown out of office and thrown right in a damn prison cell for the rest of his worthless ass fucking life is what it is, dude. At minimum. Fuck this fucking guy. He has no business being in office ever in this country, dude. And the fact that he's been in Congress / Senate since 2007, dude, right after the AWB originally expired there, is exactly what's wrong with this country currently, dude. We don't need career politicians like this fucking asshole in office anymore, dude. We need to kick this fucking ass out permanently. And I would say, if nothing else, it's places like Connecticut, it's places like Delaware, it's states like fucking New York, New Jersey, etc. They need to have no representation at all, dude. When all their fucking federal, when all their congressmen, senators, etc., a bunch of anti-gun fucking pricks that are trying to steal the rest of our damn governments is what it is here, dude. Fuck these guys. Fuck all their asses. Auto DQs across the fucking board, baby. End the fucking story. Yeah. Speaking of fucking piece of shit Chris Murphy wants to be thrown out of office right now, dude, is bullshit like this fucking tweet 3 days ago. In order to get a speaking slot at the Republican National Convention, you need to believe that if Republicans don't win the election, then political violence as a means of rejecting the will of the voters is defensible. Fuck you, you fucking dickhole. It's you Democrats who are the one that tried to assassinate Trump, you fucking asshole. And I guarantee it's your fucking deep state bitch ass, Chris Murphy. That was probably the lead motherfucker behind the fucking assassination attempt, you fucking asswipe. So go fuck yourself, you dickless turd. I see. This is exactly what I've said for years, honestly, dude. This is why everyday Americans, 10 fucking times in their life, should be able to kick the shit out of a politician and literally challenge them to a fight they have to accept. And if we beat their ass in that fucking fight, we take their fucking job. End of story. That's what needs to happen right now in this country, dude. Seriously. That's what should be a 20th or 29th amendment of the Constitution right now. It should be trial by combat. End of fucking story on that one, dude. And so if the challenger wins, they take your seat of power for whatever the term is left then. So, and I guarantee you a lot of these little dickless turds like Chris Murphy would resign on the spot then, dude. Because then they get their asses beat in a real fight is what it is then. So, anyway. But yeah, I've had it with these motherfuckers in general, dude. In fact, I'm going to go call that bitch ass out on that one, dude. So. Yeah, people have been called out Murphy on this one in the comment section. This first guy here said, let's see what it said here. Said, let's see what Democrats do when Trump wins. Spoiler, they will riot and burn cities just like they always do. And you have this guy say, yes, look at all the violence from Republican voters in the wake of the shooting in Pennsylvania last Saturday. Oh, wait. Yeah, bunch of fucking clowns, dude. And you got this dumb bitch here talking about still riding with Biden. Fucking dude, like, this woman's a great example of why we need to have, like, case-by-case base voting, honestly. Yes, Josh Guy said, sounds exactly what Democrats did in 2016. Exactly. Yes, Kimberly Woman said, you mean like your left-wing violent rioters after Trump got elected? Yeah, it was the Antifa, etc. there. So, yeah. Fancy Nancy told Chris Murphy to shut up, loser. Connecticut needs to fire your milquetoast ass. That's the thing, though. He's not even milquetoast, dude. He's a literal fucking far leftist piece of shit who has broken his oath to office every single day he has sat in a seat of power in this country. This is why deprivation of rights of law needs to be a fucking federal felony. This is why oath breaking needs to be the same exact charge And that's why pieces of shit like Chris Murphy need to be in a federal prison cell for the rest of their damn days on Earth right now is what it is, dude. Period. End of story. Simple as that. On that note, I'm going to call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be caring, because you never know when dickless pieces of shit like Chris Murphy are going to try and steal your gun rights again. And you may have to defend against tyrants in this country. Like his ass. So, have a good one, y'all. Later. Peace out.